Air pollution consists of chemicals or particles in the atmosphere that poses a serious health and environmental threats. But what causes air pollution? And what does it mean for our planet? Some air pollution comes from natural sources like volcanic eruptions, wildfires, or allergens. But most air pollution results from human activities such as energy use and agriculture. There are different types of human-made air pollution. When we burn fossil fuels to produce energy, they release greenhouse gases into the air. These emissions such as carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and fluorinated gases trap heat from the sun and Earth's atmosphere, leading to a rise in global temperatures. Methane is responsible for 1/4 of global warming since Industrial Revolution. Production of methane is cheapest, fastest and easiest way of global climate change. This creates a cycle where air pollution contributes to climate change, and climate change creates higher temperatures. In turn, higher temperatures intensify some types of air pollution. In turn, higher temperatures intensify some types of air pollution. For example, climate change increases smog because it forms in the presence of high heat and increased levels of ultraviolet radiation. More frequent extreme weather such as flooding contributes to damp conditions and therefore to a rise in mold. Warmer weather also leads to longer pollen seasons, and therefore more pollen production. Smog can be divided into two categories: sulfurous and photochemical. Sulfurous smog is made up of chemical compounds called sulfur oxides. It occurs when burning sulfur-bearing fossil fuels such as coal. Photochemical smog, also called ground-level ozone, is a result of the reaction between sunlight, nitrogen oxides, and volatile organic compounds. Nitrogen oxides come from car exhaust, coal power plants, and factory emissions. Volatile organic compounds are released from gasoline paints and many cleaning solvents. Smog not only creates a brown haze that reduces visibility, but also harms plants, irritates the eyes, and causes respiratory distress. Another category of air pollution is toxic pollutants. These are chemicals such as mercury, lead, dioxins, and benzene that are released during gas or coal combustion, waste incineration, or burning of gasoline. In addition to adverse environmental effects, toxic air pollution can cause serious health problems such as cancer, reproductive complications, and birth defects. The future lies not with just one type of power plant, but with a variety of renewable energy sources, including some lesser-known sources of energy such as biomass, used wisely in conjunction with the smart use and transmission of the electricity. Global internet traffic surged by more than 40% in 2020 as a result of increased video streaming, video conferencing, online gaming, and social networking. Global data center electricity use in 2020 was 200 to 250 TWh, or around 1% of global demand. Despite exponential growth in the demand for these services, rapid improvements in energy efficiency have helped to limit electricity demand growth. Sustained efforts by the ICT industry to improve energy efficiency, as well as government policies to promote best practices, will be essential to curb energy demand and emission growth over the next decade. In 2022, 200 million electronic vehicles was on the roads around the world. This leads to increasing demand in electric energy. Until 2030, demand will be 300 terawatt-hours. By 2050, electronic vehicle energy consumption in some of the European countries will be between 10 and 25% for top 10 countries. Luxembourg, Ireland, Croatia, Slovenia will be at the top of this list. While air pollution has many consequences for our planet, there are solutions. We can limit toxic pollutants, smog and greenhouse gases by decreasing the use of fossil fuels such as in transportation, manufacturing and electricity generation. On average, transportation makes up the largest percentage of a carbon footprint. It is also one of the easiest segments to reduce emissions from. Traveling less, bicycling more, driving an electric car or foregoing car ownership altogether. The rapidly falling costs and surge in demand of renewable energy like solar is one of the bright spots in our economy that give us hope that we can avoid disastrous climate change.
Plants obtain energy from the sun, animals obtain energy from plants, and animals at the top of the food chain obtain energy from other animals. The latest research in the field of data storage leads to the conversion of the binary record to the so-called synthetic DNA. DNA storage consists of two basic processes: writing the code and the meaning of creating the code that converts 4 DNA codes into binary form, according to the following scheme. DNA molecule synthesizes a molecule letter by letter, producing a chemical reaction that will be indexing. Such DNA will be stored in the repositories or containers that keep light and temperature constant. Today labs synthesize DNA on chips that use semiconductor technology. Expectations are that the next generations will store a few gigabytes on the chip.